Hi everyone, welcome to this introduction session on the MuleSoft Agentforce connector. This has been recently released by Salesforce and it has been part of the MuleSoft AI Chain project as an open source repository. Now this has been officially certified. So in this session, we are going to look at how you can use this connector. Of course, you have the official documentation, and also on the Mac project, you have the documentation, as well as the open source version is also available on the MuleSoft AI Chain project GitHub org, along those other connectors which we are also working to officially support and certify. So today we are going to look a little deeper how you can use this Agentforce connector. So in order to use it, first of all, what you need to do is you need to go into Salesforce to first of all create a connected app. This is needed because you need to authenticate from MuleSoft Anypoint Studio to Salesforce using a connected app. And here it's important currently, the Agentforce connector only supports a connected app. Later on, there will be also support for external client app, but currently you have to create a connected app. And here, okay, it's not showing up for some reason. So let's go here in the old version. And here I can type in, let's say, base agent. That should be also the name. I will type in my email address. And now we can activate the OAuth settings. So it's here you have to write exactly this URL, login.salesforce.com. Now we have to select few of the scopes. So one of the scopes you need to have is, let me check, we have here the chatbot API. So in total we need 4. You need access to the API platform. You need to have the user data and the perform request at any time, refresh token, etc. And now in the settings, you have to deactivate these 3. Require proof key, require secret for web server flow, require secret for refresh token flow, and activate the client credential flow. That's important along this issue JSON Web Token based access token for named user. Once you have done it, save it. And after saving it, of course, we have to now wait. That's why we created this first. So now, before we continue, we need to also edit it as far as we go to manage. Let's go manage, and in the manage, we can edit the policies because here we need to also enter the username. So let me go here and look for my user, and also here you have to set it to 30 minutes, save it. And now we need to go back to App Manager. And here I see my base agent, so we will look at it later on. I need to also create an agent. So let's do that. In Agentforce, you can just create a simple agent. Let's say it's a service agent. And what we can do with the service agent is, that should be fine. So we call it base agent. You are a support agent. Your company focus on cars. So whatsoever. And here I suggest to create a new agent user. So this will be fully configured for it. And now we can, if you want to use any data library, you can attach it, but that's not the purpose. Let's create the agent. And the agent should be created and possibly also available here. So this agent is currently not active. Just let me ask a question. Hi, can you make a reservation for me? Okay, so let's see if it is able to use one of those topics. Probably yes, as it has been default configured. Yeah, so it want to ask for the record and so on. So I will activate this one because we are going to use it from MuleSoft. So now the next step is to go into Anypoint Studio and create a new project. Let me just resize it so we see everything. We are going to use a new Mule project. That should be fine. We call it Agentforce Connector. Getting started. Finish. Now give it a second. So the project is created, and here I can now work with it. Let me just add the module. So I've added it before already, so you can see the different versions. So is it Agentforce Connector 1.0? I drag and drop it here, and I have these four operations. So we are going to use each of those. So let's get started with the first one will be, and I will just call it start. It's a start. Here we will just add the default configuration. That start, and at the end I would like to have a transform message, which is to JSON, and I just want to display the payload and the attributes, because there is something you will find once you are interacting with the connector. Data you can use for your mule flows. So let's say this is payload plus attributes. Okay, so now the next step is to use and start a conversation. And here it's important to enter now the configuration. So you can see this is something you need to provide. Where can you find the Salesforce org? The Salesforce org can be found under the domain settings, and this is my Salesforce org. So I will copy it, go back to Studio and enter it here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks good. And I also need from my connected app the client credentials and secret. So that's something I'm going to view it now. Okay, for some reason it is not working again. But here I can now click on this button and it will show me exactly my client credentials, which I can copy here and paste it. And once I've done it, I can click on test connection. It should probably directly say passed. If you have configured all the scopes, it should pass the connection, and then you can select the agents. So first of all, here we are enabling basically all the agents to be fetched. Yeah, so this one will be removed because you cannot interact with the Agentforce default agent. This is meant as a co-pilot, but for the other ones, you can see it here. So I have just created my base agent, and that's fine. That's the first one. For the second one, we have the continue conversation. So let's say continue, and here I will be using the continue conversation. And in the continue conversation, we will have payload dot prompt, and I would like to have here payload dot session ID. Could be in attributes as well, but the message number, let's say I keep one. And again, I will copy this and paste it after the processor. And the final one will be end conversation. So, and that's something we are going to call exactly like this, end conversation. Payload is dot session ID. So it's disconnected then. And yeah, let's copy this as well. So that are the three operations. we would like to use, and let's see how we can work with it now. We will be using Postman to demonstrate how all this works together. So let's start the project. And meanwhile, this is starting up. Let me see if I've already prepared. The Postman side looks good. Okay. So I have a start conversation where I'm going to have no body. It's just opening the window with this one, and here I can write something. So we are going to make a reservation. You see, I'm passing also the session ID. In the end, one is about, you just pass the session ID here, which will be then disconnecting the session. So let's save it. Okay, now let's wait for Anypoint to start up and then we can go ahead. Okay, here I had a error. What does it say? Oh, yeah. I'm on the latest version of Anypoint Studio. I need to just switch here to the 17, Java 17 version, because 8 has been dropped along 11. So now we can restart. Good that this appeared, so when you face it, you know exactly what to do. Okay, this won't take a long time to start up, as a connector is simply based on a REST API. So we are using all the default libraries from Java, not many external libraries, and this should be quite fast. All right, so before we test, I think I forgot something, and that's basically I need to assign the connected app which I created to the agent. So let's go to the agent itself. On the details, we go to connections, and here you have a connections area where you select the API, and here we need to search for our base agent, and I will say this is mule base agent. Save it, and now we should be ready. So I think we can go to Postman and just start a conversation here. We should receive an ID, a session ID here. And this is the ID I can now take and continue my conversation with the agent. So let me just say that was wrong. Copy again and paste it here and send the request. So, and within a session, you will also have the possibility to refer back to things you have said. Like it's now asking me, could you please provide your email address? And I will say, yes, the email address is info@salesforce.com. And it should probably ask me now for the date. Okay, I found your record. Okay, nice. What date should the reservation be? So I can say I would like to have it for 22nd March at 8 a.m. So let's see what it will come back with. Probably it will ask me for options. Yeah, so it says yes. So it's asking me for the available, or showing me the available time slots and asking me if the 8 to 10 is fine. So let's see what happens if I just say yes. It should probably work because we are in the session ID. So it should come back and say, yeah, I've reserved the time slot for you. Yeah, exactly. And that's how you can simply create headless agents with Agentforce using the MuleSoft Agentforce connector, and use it in any of your conversation and agentic workflows. So that was it. Thanks a lot.